All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're cracking open the vault on one of the most secretive, powerful, and honestly, utterly fascinating financial systems in human history. We're talking about a system that has literally hidden trillions of dollars out of plain sight. The history behind Swiss bank accounts isn't just a story about wealthy people dodging taxes or hiding a few extra bucks. No, this is about an entire subterranean global infrastructure, a system explicitly designed to operate completely in the shadows. Think about this quote for a second. Behind the world's most beautiful mountains lies a vault that holds the secrets of dictators and billionaires alike. That really sets the perfect stage for our source material today. For decades, this system has served as the absolute, impenetrable shield for the world's dirty money. But as we're going to see as we dig into this, that shield is finally being cracked wide open. Section 1. The Vault of Shadow Money and Laundering Global Power. Which brings us right into Section 2, Origins of the Windowless Room and the 1947 Parallel. Now, what's really interesting here is that to truly wrap our heads around this hidden history, we have to understand that this world of what the source calls shadow money operates exactly like a highly secretive intelligence organization. This isn't standard corner bank capitalism. It's about laundering absolute power. And to understand how this structure was built, we actually have to go all the way back to 1947. That is the exact same year that birthed the Central Intelligence Agency. The source draws this absolutely fascinating direct parallel between these two entities. On one side, you've got the CIA, which was given this broad and vague mandate. That gave them immense flexibility to run covert operations completely shielded from public oversight. But on the flip side, developing at the exact same time, Swiss banking became a metaphorical windowless room. Actually, scratch that. It wasn't just a room for the global elite to park their savings. It was heavily engineered to be a permanent, silent mechanism to quietly interfere in global affairs without ever leaving a paper trail. Section 3. Weaponizing the secret accounts and the black budgets of the 1970s. So as we move forward in time from those 1947 origins, the whole nature of these accounts radically shifted. By the mid-1970s, as public trust in governments really started to tank, that initial windowless room evolved. These secret accounts were no longer just a passive safety net for rich people. They became an active weapon. We start seeing black budget funds flowing heavily through these hidden channels to secretly bankroll operations that would eventually explode into massive, world-changing events. We see a huge escalation during this era, with institutions completely changing the stakes, well before we arrive at today's modern landscape where AI and data are the new battlefield. But let's hover on that 1970s middle era for just a second, because the sheer scale of what happened next is just staggering. Enter the BCCI, or the Bank of Credit and Commerce International. The source uses the BCCI as the ultimate poster child for this era of weaponized banking. And honestly, can you believe the audacity of their PR spin? Publicly, they sold themselves as the friendly, accessible bank of the third world. Sounds wonderful, right? But behind closed doors, the reality was entirely different. It operated as a massive, deeply embedded global criminal enterprise. The really crucial point is who was actually utilizing this friendly-looking bank. The BCCI's hidden clientele was a literal who's who of the illicit world: drug traffickers, powerful dictators, and international arms dealers. The source highlights that billions in what is explicitly termed dirty money flowed seamlessly through these accounts without a single trace. Again, this wasn't passive storage. This money was being actively weaponized to quietly fund major operations across the Middle East and Latin America, completely bypassing international law and public scrutiny. Moving on to Section 4, the threat of modern AI and the mirror's truth. Fast forward to today, and the entire game has flipped on its head thanks to a concept the source calls the mirror's truth. Think about it. Just as the CIA eventually realized they couldn't just rely on deep cover human spies because they kept getting compromised, the deeply entrenched world of shadow banking is suddenly facing a highly efficient, terrifying new enemy: technology. We have officially entered an era of maximum complexity. The days of relying on a discreet banker in a windowless room in Switzerland to keep a secret, those days are gone. Software is now achieving what human intelligence never could. We're talking about data processing at a speed and scale that fundamentally breaks the old models of financial secrecy. Let's walk through exactly how this works using modern tools, like the AI systems developed by Palantir. Step 1. The AI just gulps down everything. We are talking massive, endless oceans of bank wires, travel logs, and intercepted phone calls. Step 2. It weaves all of that raw information into a single, highly complex living map. And Step 3. By connecting dots that used to be totally invisible, it exposes the hidden webs of who was tied to whom.
It reveals safe houses, it uncovers cartels, and it tracks the destination of dirty money in absolute real time. Which brings us to our final section, the new data battlefield and leaving your mark.
The history behind Swiss accounts has always been about erasing the trail. But the modern shadow war is fought entirely over digital information. The secrecy that defined the origins of shadow money is completely incompatible with the digital footprint you need to move money today. The source material uses this wonderful metaphor called the pencil's tail. It basically says that no matter what surface a pencil is used on, it absolutely must leave its mark. In our modern digital age, financial marks are becoming impossible to erase. Every single wire, every shell company transfer, every digital handshake leaves a microscopic mark of graphite, so to speak. And when you have AI that can scan the entire globe for those marks, the shadows just disappear. And that leads us to this definitive conclusion from the source material. Whoever controls the data wins. The battlefield has shifted from physical vaults hidden behind beautiful mountains to massive server farms and algorithmic processing. The era of total secrecy is rapidly being replaced by the era of total exposure. Institutions that thrived in the shadows since 1947 are now fighting a losing battle against the sheer gravitational pull of big data. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. Looking at this incredible transition from the windowless rooms of the 1940s to the all-seeing AI data maps of today, is true secrecy even possible in the age of AI? Or are the days of the hidden Swiss bank account completely over? Think about how this applies to the systems operating all around us right now. Hopefully, this explainer gave you a powerful new lens to look at the hidden architecture of global finance. Keep digging into the history, stay curious, and always keep questioning the systems working in the shadows.